Hello YouTube, welcome to my layout. This video is a how-to on how to program virtually any locomotive onto a 4-digit address. What you see there is an Atlas Trainman with a Digitrax DH123 in there. This is just a regular cheapo decoder that allows you to control it on DCC. And I have another engine here I'll show you. And that's my Genesis SD70 ACE with sound and the Tsunami board. And basically what I'm trying to show you is that this will work for virtually any train out there in DCC programming. So this will work in N scale as well, but I have HO scale here. What we're going to do is first let's start out assuming you have a train, you just got a decoder, and you just put it in, and by default those decoders operate on locomotive address 3, right? Yes. Now, let's say that you do not know the address of your train. Maybe you were messing around with it and you lost track, maybe something got really messed up. What you're going to do is take every train off the track, except for the one that you want to change, switch to locomotive 0, and then program CV8 to a value of 8. Turn your track power off, and turn your track power back on. Some locomotives, the lights will flash when they come back on. In this case, this one doesn't. But now we have successfully reset our locomotive, and it's on locomotive address 3. So now we're ready to start plugging in the address. There's 3 CV controls, configuration values, that we are going to enter in to change the number. The number on the train here is 8260, and we want to get from 3 to 8260. So the first step is going to be to find out what our CV values are needing to be, because we're going to use 17, 18, and 29. 17 and 18 are for the address, and 29 is for the configuration. So first let's go online here and use a program that will automatically find out your values, because you can't just plug in the locomotive address. The decoders accept it in binary code, so it'd be a lot of converting and math work and stuff that nobody really wants to do. Thankfully though, we can just go right here, enter 8260, and it will calculate it into binary code for us. But most importantly, it gives us our decimal values for CV 17 and 18. You have to enter the 4-digit address in 2 separate ways, like in 2 separate CVs. I don't know why, but that's how it's set up. So we have our locomotive 3 here, and even though we're theoretically changing the address, we're still going to plug it in on locomotive 3. That's because by default, when you reset your decoder, in most cases it is not going to have your decoder set to accept 4-digit addresses. So even though we're plugging in a 4-digit address into the decoder, it's not going to use it yet because we haven't enabled it. So let's get started here on the Digitrax Zephyr. This is what I have here. We're going to press program CV017 to the value that was listed, and in this case it's 224, and you're going to write it. This will work with NCE ProCab, I think, and other train control system stuff, but I'm just showing it with my Zephyr because that's all I have. So now we've programmed 224. Now we can press exit, program CV18 to a value of 68, and write that value as well. Now at this point the locomotive should still respond to address 3. All there is one last adjustment that we need to make, and that is CV29. Now the interesting thing about CV29 is it's a configuration manager, which means it does not control just one thing. You're able to add up certain, well, basically there's different functions on the decoder. This includes reversing direction, speed control, 4-digit addresses, and DC and regular DC or DCC operation. So each one of those has a unique number, and when adding them up as to like which ones do you want, say we want DC and 4-digit addresses. They each have unique numbers, so when you add them together, there's one number like it and no other combination will add up to that. So what we're going to do is use a CV29 calculator, which I have right here. So let's see, it runs properly in the direction we want, 28 and 128 speed steps. We'll make it work in DC, and also most importantly, we want a 4-digit address. So we come back here, and we already entered in our values for 17 and 18, but they haven't been enabled yet. So what this CV29 is, we said the value was 38. Our configuration manager, which is CV29, is going to be changed to a value of 38. So with this locomotive selected, go to 29, change the value to 38. And now, locomotive 3 no longer responds because our address has been changed to 8260. Now, here's the next step. So this is how to change it with a simple train with a plug-in decoder like that. Very simple, nothing too complex. Next, we're going to do the same thing to an athearn, SD70 ACE with sound and tsunami and all that stuff. But there is a problem here. Let's say I was messing around with it earlier and I no longer know what address the locomotive operates on. Normally that'd be a problem because in order to program CVs you need to know the address. So what we're going to do is we're going to program, we're going to reset it. So take everything off the track, like I said earlier, I'm just showing you. Take everything off the track, select locomotive 0, program CV8 to a value of 8, and then write it. Go back and then turn the track power off and turn the track power back on. And now the lights should blink, at least in this case it does. On this locomotive, when the lights blink, that means there's been a reset on it, so things have changed basically. So now we can select locomotive 3, and we now have control of our train. So now we just redo the process. We want to change the number to be 9210. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our to our little calculator here, and I'll post the link for this in the description. So let's do 9210 and then calculate it. So it puts it in binary code, and then finally gives us our value, 227 and 250. So what we're going to do is come back here to our locomotive, and since it's running in the proper direction, our CV settings are going to be the same as they were from the Conrail. So what we're going to do is program CV17 to a value of 227, program it. Program CV18 to a value of 250. And at this point, it should still be operating on locomotive 3. And it is. So now, all we have to do is adjust our configuration manager to accept the numbers that we just put in. It's important that you enter the numbers before configuring the CV29. So now, we have the numbers in, CV29, and we said 38 for the other value. We're going to plug that in. And now it no longer should respond on locomotive address 3. It's now on 9210. And that is how you program any locomotive to a 4-digit address. Of course, your track needs to be in good shape. But that's how to do it. If you have any questions, send me a message or email me at modeltrain9500@gmail.com. If you follow these steps, I don't think you'll have any problems, but you never know. So send me a message and we'll try to get you hooked up here. But like I said, it'll work for any engine that I can think of. So yeah, you should be set. Thanks for watching, and look for more videos in the future.